do a couple trickier ones. We'll start out a little easier and we'll move our way up. We know from the first example, if we were to simplify the square root of 80 here, we'd have 16 and 5. I can take a 4 out because the square root of 16 is 4, so that's going to go up front. My 5 is going to be left over. I'm going to write that up here just as a little reminder. That's what's going to go inside the radical. Here, I have an x to the 4th. Well, I got to think, how many pairs of x's can I take out? I would have x times x times x times x. That's x to the 4th. I can take out 1 pair, 2 pairs, so I get x squared. And for my y, I would have 4 pairs, so I get y to the 4th. And then the square root of, well, that 5 is left over. Here's my final answer. Sometimes we'll have variables left inside, sometimes we won't. In this case, we only had the 5 that was left over. Let's try another example. I'm going to change this problem up a little bit. We're going to make this a cube root instead of just a square root. Well, if I were to take the cube root of 24, well, it's not a perfect cube, but let's see if I can find one. I know my perfect cubes start with 8, and then we have 27. Well, that's already too big. Let's see if it's divisible by 8. And look at that. It is. 3 times 8 is 24. Well, the cube root of 8 is 2, so that's going to go out front. Meanwhile, my 3 is going to stick around inside the radical. Well, how many groups of 3 can we take out of x to the 12th? Well, 12 is divisible by 3, and we would have 4 groups. So x to the 4th comes out, nothing stays inside. Y to the 15th. I have 5 groups of 3 that I can take out. So I have y to the 5th out here. And then lastly, z to the 17th. Well, z to the 17th, I'm going to be able to get 5 groups of the z's out. But I'm going to have 2 z's left over, so I'm going to have z squared left inside the radical. Well, that's all I can take outside. Now I have the cube root of z squared. This is my final answer. Now let's talk about what this is here. I have 2 times x to the 4th times y to the 5th times z to the 5th times the cube root of z squared.